your job.
Put the gun down before you kill someone.
Teenage Girl's Diary.
Hello, and welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel.
And we're the Newly Dads.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to another half-hour chat show where we discuss a movie that we watched. And if this is your first time tuning in, we do record this in our house, so we do have dogs, and they like to join the show. And it looks like Bailey wants to go sit over on Mr. Newly Dad's lap very, very badly. So there he goes. This is also a podcast. So if you're listening to it, we apologize because sometimes we do talk about the things that are in front of us. But if you want to find us so you can actually watch the show, you can go to thenewlydads.com for all of your Newly Dads needs. So you can find us, all of the sites that we are on. There's several different channels, stations, and things like that. We have a YouTube channel. Where we don't just do this show, we actually do reviews and unboxings and all sorts of fun things like that. We also have a blog that you can find on there. I review small businesses, and Mr. Newly Dad usually does a lot of movie reviews and whatnot. So you can find all of that information there. Occasionally, we also do events. We are going to be doing an event coming up in December. It is at Wolf Hollow here in Rockford, Illinois. So if you are in the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, even Indiana, Iowa area, come visit us. It's going to be the serial killer market that we're going to be doing this year. It's kind of like a creepy Christmas kind of thing. So we'll have lots of ornaments and, different kind of creepy Christmas things that we're going to be selling on that. Yeah.
Oh, hi. Just to clarify, when we say serial killer, their definition at Wolf Hollow is people like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, that sort of thing.
They have people dressed up like Jason and Freddy and Art the Clown and stuff like that. So it's kind of not serial killer, but it's more like slasher, horror film kind of things, right. Not actual serial killers. Although they do have some, people who like to watch like serial killer documentaries and things like that. So they might have some funny things like serial killer bowl, like serial killer.
There is some of that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the housekeeping notes on that. Yes. You have another thought.
And one more thing. If you go to thenewlydads.com, as previously mentioned, or if you just go to our YouTube channel, which we'll put the link up here, we've started to do Dollar Store Drive-In Classics. So every Friday, you can see an episode, starting with episode 1. We're just going to work our way through, and that way you can go back and watch the old episodes.
Yes. So, yeah, especially for those people who just found us, or if you are listening to the podcast, you can go watch the shows as well. So they'll
see the evolution.
Be an archive. Yes, the evolution of the Newly Dads. But this week, we're actually here to talk about the movie we watched. So, last week we did a little special thing where we were talking about our favorite, Halloween movies. I'm thinking when this airs, it's going to be after Halloween.
It'll be the week after, yep.
Yes. So, if you, had a Halloween, if you celebrated Halloween, happy Halloween. It's a little bit past that now, but we love Halloween. We celebrate it all year long. So you'll see us wearing lots of Halloween stuff all the time. But yeah, we do watch a movie, and we've got some criteria for that movie. The first thing is it needs to be under $5. It needs to be a horror, thriller, or sci-fi type of movie. And it needs to be a movie that neither of us have ever seen. So this week, Mr. Newly Dad found a movie called Covenant, right? You found this at the dollar store?
Not to be confused with the Alien franchise.
Yes, this is just Covenant.
Yep.
Our dog, Shaggy, is being weird and hanging out behind the set, I guess. But the front of this says they hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I guess.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to read the synopsis, and then we will get on to the trailer. Boop, boop. Also, it says evil will show no mercy on the back.
I mean, that part's true. Like, and there will be spoilers. So if you haven't watched this, go watch it and then come back and
If
check
you
out
want.
what we're going to talk about if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we're giving away the ending.
Yes, because you can find it on Tubi, I think, and
I think it's on Plex and it's also on the Roku channel. So it's got commercials, but
hey, yeah, if you want to watch it, you can watch it, or you could maybe try to find it at the dollar store.
yeah, Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. Yeah, I think is where I
Yeah.
found that one. Yep.
All right. After receiving word of his estranged mother's untimely passing, a reluctant former Army lieutenant must travel to a secluded town in the Pacific Northwest to unlock the mystery surrounding her suspicious death. It's a very short synopsis.
It scared Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He's like, "What's suspicious death?"
Yeah,
He's very confused, and he watched the movie with us, so
he did.
he's
Watch
got
it.
thoughts too. Probably not
He
about.
probably has some thoughts, more like, I'm hungry, I want dinner, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just going to stare at Mama and sit on Papa's lap. All right, so should we show the trailer?
Let's hit up that trailer, yo.
Yeah. I guess this week it could be just a regular trailer. I'll let you do one of your old fashioned whatever you used to just pop up a random trailer. Yep.
It
That
just
sound
popped
good?
up. Let's see that.
Make it easy for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to pause it on us, and then we will watch the trailer. I have not seen this yet, so when we come back, I'm sure there's probably going to be some fart noises. I know you already mentioned, because he likes to tweak the trailer a little bit. So hopefully you'll think it's as funny as I do. We'll be right back.
In 2 days, the blood moon will rise again. He'll seek the blood of your bloodline. The Greeks called them soul eaters. They will kill you for sport and take your son. That's what demons do.
He's coming.
They're coming for us all.
If you lay one finger on my son, I will kill you, okay?
Once we are past these grounds, there's no turning back.
I wish I had a choice. But I don't. My son is in there! I gotta keep going. I have to. You'll never have my son. It's alright, buddy. I'm here, okay? Just talk to me.
The reality you think you know is a lie. Capiendas animas hominum ostante.
What makes a person walk into an empty church and set themselves on fire?
It's pretty obvious. You're trying to kill me. Holy mother of God.
We're back. Hopefully you enjoyed that trailer. I know I probably laughed at it because Joel likes to make funny things in there. Sometimes he puts things in there that are so fast you have to really pay attention because they're like little tiny little things.
Or you have to pause and rewind. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. But Mr. Newly Dead's got some notes.
Easter eggs. All right. So every time we watch a movie, I take notes, give us a little guideline for what we're going to talk about. So that way, we're not just going completely off the rails, which still happens. And then I draw pictures. And then at the end of the year, Mrs. Newly Dead puts together a little flippy book that you can check out on our website that we mentioned earlier and see what I had to say, check out the drawings. And then this year, hopefully, we'll have at least a few of hers. She doesn't do a lot of notes, but periodically she does and draws pictures. Sometimes she does analog notes, which those won't make it in there, I don't think, but I get to see them. So this week.
Yep, you drew a little face. If you've ever seen Bob's Burgers, I feel like that looks like, I almost said Terry.
Teddy a little bit.
Terry.
Terry.
Teddy.
Scary Terry from that other show.
And it looks like a ghost with one eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a Cyclops
and a
ghost.
Above
Above the guy. I just
above
drew a
the
little
thing.
heart.
And then is that like an exploding fart by his head?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what was there an explosion in the movie?
Oh, there was a head exploding.
yeah. There was a head that
Yeah.
exploded. That's why. Yeah. And all that That's a spoiler.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not going to
because
say
it
that.
did.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
I mean, the whole thing. The whole thing did.
The whole
Yeah.
thing did. So Covenant is from 2018, currently sitting at 3.0 out of 10.0 on the Internet Movie Database. A lot of friends and family watched it, I guess, and rated it.
Maybe.
This was directed by Manuel H. Da Silva, who is known for The Unleashed, which I guess could be about dogs in a dog park, maybe.
Mhm.
Cycle of Fear, There Is No End. Cycle of Fear, There Is No End. And that was it. Yeah, there was a little semicolon or colon there. Colon, semicolon, colon. This was written by two folks who share writing credits across the board. So they're a team. So it's Ken Cardwell and Jeff Carr, who wrote the following films: Womb.
Hate that word.
It's a word. Target Number One, which I guess is the story of the
Target
giant
franchise?
corporation. Yeah, and that was the very first story.
No.
And My Mother is a Cosmonaut, which is currently in production.
All right.
So I guess it's like your mother wears combat boots,
Mm.
but in this case, your mother wears moon boots, maybe
Oh,
cosmonaut.
yeah. Like from Russia.
Yeah,
Cosmonaut.
cosmonaut. This stars one Nick Smith in the titular role of the aforementioned military guy who comes back to the Pacific Northwest. He was in Zombie Night 2: Awakening, which sounds better than it is, I think, based on the cover art. The Killer Bra.
I mean, I've worn some killer bras before, so I understand, when they're pinchy and they're scratchy and they're stabby. That underwire.
Not like a yell bra, but like anyway.
Killer bra.
And Psychic Snakebite, which
Psychic snake bite?
I get, like a snake bite or a psycho snake bite, but a psychic snake bite, like is,
You're just like controlling a snake with your mind.
or that it's a snake that like bites you psychically.
Weird.
I don't know. We'd have to look into that because I'm a little. It just sounded weird. This also stars Xenia Mustapik, who I believe was the Ukrainian woman who was in a film called Metamorphosis, and a bunch of short films.
So maybe she was Ukrainian.
She might be.
I thought she was faking the accent.
And then Kelly McDowell is the other one that I wanted to mention, who was in a fan film called Halloween: The Night He Came Back. Which there's a lot of fan films out there. We knew this, but we hadn't watched a lot of them. At least I hadn't, and we've been kind of diving in
Sometimes
a
they're
little bit.
fun.
Some are decent. A movie called Near, which I assume is kind of like near and far, like maybe. And then Pyrenees,
Like a Great Pyrenees.
Pyrenees.
Like the mountains.
Pyrenees. I'm guessing it's more of like a
Not a dog.
yeah, not. I mean, Pyrenees is the sequel to The Unleashed, maybe.
Oh.
Oh,
See where he went there with the dogs? He's funny.
bringing it back around. So at
Clever.
this point, my wife turns to me and says,
What did you think?
yeah. So first of all, the special effects in this film are stellar, just off the charts, good stuff.
Crap.
There's a guy's head explodes in the beginning. There's lots of what I call it electric lassos, because they're like
Mhm.
electric
There's lots of like
things.
sparks.
Lots of sparks, fire. There's even a fire on
There's
a tree.
like little like things.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're making the noise early.
Yeah, but and how he does the little explosion.
I like when she goes. Good Lord, she was making it easy on me earlier. She was saving it up for that.
I was.
And it's interesting because this film, is a modern day film. It's not like it takes place in 1987 or something. And the lead guy is using a folded road map in 2018.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did he not have GPS? Does he not have a cell phone? I don't remember if anybody did have any cell phones or anything. I feel like
In
it wasn't.
2018?
Well, I mean, in the movie, like,
Oh.
was it set in the past? I don't remember that being a thing that was ever like
This is
clearly made.
2016.
Well, according to the Internet Movie Database, it's 18. So maybe it was filmed in 16 and released in 18. or
Still,
maybe it was released in 18.
I still
or
had
16.
cell phone in 2016.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I got my first cell phone in 1999, and I wasn't a doctor or a drug dealer. I just had a cell phone.
I had a pager. Also not a drug dealer. Or a doctor. Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. Now, this is pretty much the entire film. I wrote, I'm not sure where the heck this is going. And I don't know if they knew that where the heck it was going. It felt kind of like an improvised film with a loose plot, but they weren't quite sure how to get to where they were going. I also was like, are they Canadian? Because a lot of it felt like the words that they used, the way that the police looked, just kind of the general everything. It's supposed to take place in the Pacific Northwest, but I checked and it was filmed in Ottawa.
Yeah, so you're right.
Or Ontario, I'm sorry, on Ontario. So it was a Canadian film. And then there was a weird segment where they kind of gave the backstory, because the movie opens with a woman who's having a baby, and there's like a satanic cult, and they want to take the baby because if they sacrifice the baby, then it brings about the end of the world. But she decides that she don't want any part of it, and she takes off. And her husband, or the father of the baby, at first is like, where are you going? We made a deal, and then decides that the baby's life is more important. So he kind of sacrifices his own life to save her, give her a chance to get away.
Yep.
So the cops come, find her. They take off. Meanwhile, the cop's being chased by some sort of devil beast guy. And that's how it opens up. So there's a scene where there's the Ukrainian lady and the main character are wandering through the forest trying to get from where he was staying to where his mom, who was the mom, because he's the kid. No spoiler there. He's the kid that was saved, but his mom had recently passed on, and they're trying to get somewhere, and they run into these zombie type characters. They're just like people with
black eyes and that kind of makeup that looks like dark and like runny, and when they open up their mouth, it's like like black.
I wish I could do that with special effects. I don't have that tool.
I'm trying to think like what other movie did that, like where they were like
Grave Encounters did that, just for another low budget. That's actually a good movie and a sequel. But the woman that's there, because he's like, can't we stop for a second? And then when they do, all these zombies show up and surround them, and she's got to fight them. And it turns out she's been trained by some sort of I wrote Pope fighters, but like some sort of religious
militant kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she's doing kung fu with these zombies who are also doing kung fu. And it was a very weird, I wrote Kung Fu Zombies versus Pope Fighters, which sounds like a game from the mid-90s. And then I wrote, still, those FX are top notch.
Then at one point he gets sucked into this like void or whatever. I forgot what they called it. The shadow world.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. And it's like a triangle that he goes through, and it looks like a bad video game or something, and it's weird. His
feet are sticking out on one end, and she's trying to keep him from getting pulled all the way in. And he's on the inside of this, if you've ever seen Insidious, is that the one where Lynn Shay is wandering around in the nothing or whatever, like all the black, and she's got a little lamp? I think that's Insidious. And all of a sudden, the demon guy pops up, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And the guy pulls out his gun and tries to shoot the demon.
Yeah, and the demon's like this big blue demon. Yeah.
With
a mask on, because he's trying to talk at one point, and you can't see his mouth moving because it's like
a Halloween mask.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like Blue Demon from Santo and Blue Demon, the Mexican wrestler films. No. This is just a guy that looks kind of like a White Walker.
Yeah, a little bit.
Cosplay.
A little bit. But a bad cosplay.
But a bad cosplay. I know they're on a budget, so you can forgive a little bit. But then the Temptress shows up, who's another demon that's trying to... they're all in for themselves. Like, they're not working together, really. And they trap her in this little thing, and the way she gets out of it, they do like a chalk salt kind of circle. She pees on it.
Yep.
They leave her alone, and she's really like freaking out and acting weird and sticking her tongue out and doing a little like thing. And then she lifts up her skirt and pees on the little circle, so it opens it enough that she can leave and start coming after them again. And then there's a very uncomfortably weird sex scene.
Yeah.
That happens. And
But they're not really having sex.
No.
But it looks like it, and then they show her like how it actually is, and like he's got his pants on and stuff, and she's just like,
She's got her clothes on for
and
the
then he
most
wakes
part.
up.
And it's
It's like a
still night.
Weird dream. Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell if this was about witches, devil, the police, demons, murder parrots, because when he goes into his mom's house, he shoots her parrot because it's still there and it says like hello, and he like freaks out and shoots it. Which you don't see the parrot, you just see the aftermath.
There's a lot of like weird people like wandering around. Like at one point there was like a shootout.
Oh right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the guy shoots a demon or whatever, but then like they start shooting at them again. Like, and I'm like, who's shooting at them? The demons? The demons are shooting? Like, it was weird.
It kind of reminded me of that scene in The Office where Dwight is trying to get everybody to learn fire safety, and at one point he throws firecrackers down, and Andy goes, "The fire's shooting at us." That's kind of what it felt like, because you never really saw the guns, I don't think, from the demons. You just like they were like ricocheting I don't know, it was weird.
It was weird.
And then so we started saying, "I shot the Satan, but I did not shoot his throne," you see, because he was on a throne. The Netherworld, I said, looks like FX from a movie in 1998, which not like The Matrix, but like right before The Matrix happened and kind of upped everybody's game. It was kind of like that. Yeah, that's fair. I was going to say like Weta Workshops with Lord of the Rings, but that was later.
Yeah.
I still don't know what's happening. I wrote, "Do I care?" I said, no.
It's a very disjointed story and like boring.
Then there was a twist.
And I guessed it.
You did. And then there was another twist on top of that twist. There was two twists.
2 twists.
Like you did last summer. And then I said, "Is he a White Walker?" Which I already mentioned that. And then I guess we're at the end at this point, right?
Yeah.
So the twist is that his mom is hanging with the devil cult again.
I was like, I think that's his mom, and I think those people that he's been hanging out with that's been fighting the demons are like in on it. And I was right.
And he's like, "Mom, I thought you were dead." And she's like, "Nope, surprise."
She's like, yeah, sorry, but I made a pact with the devil 30 years ago or whatever to make you stay alive, and like now you've been a bad human, so I'm going to turn you into the devil. And I'm like, first of all, they didn't really show that he was the bad human at all. Like, there's no backstory to that. Like, why did they think all of a sudden he's a horrible human? And
what's the standard if you're comparing it to the devil?
And yeah,
Like, and he's kind of an a-hole. To be fair, he is kind of an a-hole, but he's not like he's murdering babies or anything.
no.
He
And
killed a parrot on
he's
accident.
got a kid.
Yeah. And he's more worried about the kid than himself. Like, he's like, "Take me and make sure my kid is okay." And I'm like, if you're a jerk and you're a bad person, you're not going to care about anybody but yourself. And he cared more about the kid than himself.
Didn't make any sense.
And so then White Walker devil weird guy in the mask shows up.
The blue devil.
the blue devil.
Oh, she called him something. Nefarian.
Yeah, I think that's right. That
Yeah.
sounds right.
I'm going to sit by Nefarian's side.
I thought I wrote that down. And that's the Ukrainian lady you're
Yeah.
talking about? Because she pulls a gun on him because
On the
on the lead.
Yeah.
And the cop shows up. Isn't the cop in on it too?
Yeah, I think so.
Like everybody in the town is in on it except for this guy. And you're like, okay, how's he going to get out of this? Is he going to like shoot the devil and then like everybody's going to explode and he's going to, go hang out with his kid? And you find out that his kid is fine, by the way.
Yeah. And then that Nefarian guy, the devil, is like, goes up to him or whatever, and he's like, "Thank you for bringing me my sacrifice," with his like, weird, you can't see his mouth moving. It's more like, "Thank you for bringing me my sacrifice."
I was trying to be the demon for you.
And yeah.
They like hold the guy's head down and hold him on the ground. And the devil's got like a trident spear kind of something, right?
Yep.
And there's all these energy lasso bolts and sparks and fires and all this crap going on. And then all of a sudden, he like shoots him in the head.
Just explodes his head.
And then they show his head on the ground and it's like exploded open.
And that's it.
And then the devil like stabs him with the trident thing.
Yeah, but that's it. And then it goes to cuts to black.
Yeah, because he talks about, your death will bring about the end of the world or something.
Yep. And then it's the end.
Yeah, he stabs him in the head after he's blown his head off. the devil's just like standing there. Everyone's just kind of standing around. And then,
They
yeah,
didn't even show that. I think it was just like,
right before that, they
Oh,
were all
yeah.
just standing around watching.
yep.
And then cut to the credits, and we stuck around, and there was nothing after the credits. We had to rewind it because we weren't sure that we saw what we actually saw. We thought maybe we missed something.
Yeah. I'm assuming the end of the world happened, and that's why the screen went black.
You know, at least pull an ending like, I don't want to spoil another movie that's a good movie, but there's another movie that we talked about last week that involves a lot of monsters
Yes.
where they could have pulled that ending, which would have been fairly inexpensive and would have gotten the point across. But here they're just like, no, just cut to credits. We don't care.
Yeah.
It was just, I really was like excited for the movie to end. I was like, just one dip and end it. You
Yeah.
know?
You want to rate it? To
Guess
that
so.
point?
Yeah.
So on a scale of infinite negatives to 5 electric
Positives.
lassos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Woo-woo.
Yeah.
So I already rated this on Letterboxd, and Letterboxd doesn't have negatives. It's only got no stars up to 5 stars. And you can do half stars too. And so I put it at nothing because I didn't know where it sat. But the more I thought about it, there really isn't much to this that I enjoyed. Like, I was anxious for it to end. There wasn't any good music. The special effects weren't great.
Thoroughly, yeah,
But,
bored.
you know, you stayed awake.
I did. It was
And-
starting to make me fall asleep though.
It gave us
But I
something
did
to
not.
talk about.
Mm.
But
And we made up some weird songs while we were watching it.
so I forgot about the songs.
Mhm.
So I ended up I'm going to end up giving it a -1
Yeah.
because it's less than worth watching.
We are on
ever.
sync. On sync?
We're on
In
sync.
sync.
We're on sync.
We're on the
So,
sync.
like, in-
Let's go wash our hands.
Fleek. On
I'm
fleek.
on sync.
We're on sync. So yeah, and I wrote very last thing I wrote at the bottom was the end sucked, and it did. It really did suck.
So if they don't want to watch this, but they do want to watch something, what would you recommend that they watch instead?
I could almost say anything here, and it would be better than this. But I thought about it, and I tried to find something that was sort of on point that I haven't referenced before, because you come up with some similar titles kind of at this point. But I went back with 1957's Curse of the Demon, which is a British film. And in the film, there's a demon in it that you get to see, which technically originally they weren't going to have the demon. But when the producers got a hold of it at the end, they're like, you didn't show the demon. They're like, well, we didn't want to. So they put the demon in, and the demon's kind of become iconic. It's probably going to end up in my drawing at some point.
Nice.
But it's a black and white film. I only saw it for the first time this last year. It's on the shelf. It's really quite good. And it involves, a cult and them trying to summon the devil or demon. And
Got demon
I feel like there was also like an outsider that came into the mix. It just felt like it was probably sort of a spiritual like predecessor to this. So if you like black and white movies from the 50s,
sometimes.
just highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Fun. All right. So I'm going to blow this bad boy up.
Oh, no. I love when she does that. She knows it too. All right.
All right. What are we watching next week?
Next week, we have another one from the Dollar Tree.
It's a double feature.
Yep,
Are we
we're
watching the
it.
first one?
Yep. Hopefully it's decent because we got a part 2 to watch
There is
later.
a part 2. It's a double feature. So it's The Night Visitor and The Night Visitor 2, Heather's Story.
The Night Visitor is from 2013.
So this says, beware of those who come at night.
Oh,
It's The Night Visitor Chronicles.
right? Like, is there, I don't know if I think there's only 2 though. So I don't know how many
Boy, these stills look.
there could be. Are you already second guessing it? Sometimes stills can be deceiving.
It's nice though that there's a sequel. So
I don't know if that's nice or not. Do we really want to see this?
I don't know.
It's
Maybe
like that.
somebody did.
Don't go in the basement, and then afterwards we're like, I'd actually watch a sequel even though it wasn't fantastic.
Mm.
It was still good enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me read the synopsis for the first one because they're both on here.
Right.
So I'll just read the left side here. The Night Visitor centers around a suburban couple who hires a new age spiritualist to help with their troubled marriage. Her advice, I think is to video their lives 24/7.
Oh, found footage maybe.
Yeah, to help reunite the family, good Lord, I cannot read. The family turns out to reveal their son is having conversations with an unseen entity calling itself the Night Visitor.
Oh.
Yeah. So apparently there's a haunted kid.
Night visitor. Ah,
It kind of looks like,
is better than the day visitor. Ah,
like a,
ah.
what do you call it?
Like poltergeist?
Poltergeist. Thank you. It's got like a
Karate
screen
and
lines
friendship
through it.
for everyone.
and a little teddy bear.
Aw,
Poor
Teddy.
kid.
Poor kid is in a bad movie, maybe. I don't know. Found footage sometimes is very forgiving, even if the script and the story is not great. And that's the same thing, I guess, kind of, sort of. And you can get away with a lot in a found footage film. So even if it's bad, it may be better than what we just watched.
I hope.
And I've even seen some knockoff movies of found footage stuff that ended up being as good as the found footage film, even though it was in the same style and was a knockoff. So who knows?
We'll see.
We will find out. It looks like Paranormal Activity, the
That's
font,
yes, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
but with
Yep.
poltergeist looking TV thing happening.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you did and you want to say, hey, you can go on our Facebook page and say thumbs ups. That would be nice. You can share it with your friends and family.
Oh, please.
And you can come back next week.
And you can email us at contact@thenewlydads.com.
Yep. And until next week.
Keep it cheap and creepy and please not so crappy.
Bye.
Go look after your mother and sister. Where are you going?
I'm gonna finish this. Goodbye.